Hi there, I'm Sue Kasser. I am a faculty member at the University of Vermont, and I work in the exercise science department. My work focuses on MS and exercise. I usually see people in person, so it's a little unusual for me just to be leading exercise towards a screen that just has nobody on it. In any case, if you join me for Functional Fitness 1, I'm glad that you've decided to come back. If this is your first class with me, this is a class that is focused on performing exercises that mimic everyday movements or help us with movements that are part of our everyday activities. So moving in this way is helpful because it's not just a strengthening exercise or just a balance exercise, but it brings all of those facets together, including the control and coordination to use that strength and that balance. And it also is a little less fatiguing because you're not necessarily doing individual exercises and having them add upon each other. So functional fitness is an important component of exercise, and it does offer some unique benefits. So we're going to start with a warm-up that we did last time, but we'll do it again. And then we'll go through a set of exercises and we'll end with some stretches. Again, please, since I don't know you, take care to not overdo it. I will give you some different options for each exercise, and it's better to be a little bit more conservative as you're starting. You should have a stable thing to hold on to. If it's a chair, make sure that chair is very stable. It's not on wheels, it's not going to tip over if you need it because you've lost your balance. You don't want that chair to fall on the wall, something that you have next to you. Let's start with a little bit of a warm-up. Standing, my feet are going to be a little bit wider than shoulder width just to give me a little bit more stability. And I'm going to start with small arm circles moving forward just to get that shoulder loosened up. Some gentle, slow movements, just warming our muscles up for what's to come. And then you can go backwards. You can make them a little bit bigger if you want. Just getting that shoulder loose. All right, now we'll just cross them in and open them up, opening that chest up wide, upper back. Okay, and now we're just going to do a little bit of marching, just loosen up that hip. Again, I can hold on if I need to hold on. Doesn't matter how high my knees come, just trying to loosen up my hip area. Okay, and then heel kicks. Again, I can hold on, just bringing those heels back. Doesn't have to be any speed, just nice and easy. Just getting our front of our legs and our back of our legs warmed up. All right, and last, up and on our toes. Just getting those ankles moving. Nice and easy. Okay, so we're going to start with a full body exercise, and it's a mini squat with a jumping jack arm. So for those of you that are new to this class or to exercise, whole body exercise, a squat is where I'm actually moving into a seated position. The first thing that happens is my hips go back, not my knees. So my hips go back and I come down, my trunk is up, and then I stand back up. Again, I can hold on, I have a chair behind me just to give me a cue or for safety. And I'm going to do that exercise. My legs are a little bit wider than shoulder width. My toes are pointing a little outward instead of straight ahead. My trunk is up. Ways to modify is hold on. Don't go very far down if you need to just do it a little bit less intense. and do it at your own speed. So if I'm going to do 10 and I count 10, you could do one every other, or you could stop at 5 or 6. So be smart and be safe. So when I come down, I start with my hips, I come back down, and as I come up, I do a jumping jack with my arms. And then I come down, my arms come to the side, come back up, is 2. I don't have to go very far, is 3. I can hold on, is 4. 5. 6. My knees should not come ahead of my toes. That's why my seat is back, but you don't want to fall backwards, so just go as far as you can. 8. And 9, one more. And 10. Good. Well, hopefully you have a nice sturdy chair there, and you're starting to kind of figure out how much do I do, how much do I not do. So the next one is side lunges with a forward arm release. So basically it's a lunge, and most of you would probably know what a lunge is, only this is to the side. So basically what I'm going to do, my trunk is up, I'm going to step to the side and then let my weight go that way. Again, my toes don't come forward of my knees don't come forward of my toes. And then I come back. So the full one looks like this. So I come to the side, my arms come up. They come back down, my arms come down. One-handed, hold it on, out to the side, and come in. That's 2. We're going to stay on that side first. It's 3. It's 4. One more. And 5. Now let's go the other way. Same idea. I can hold on if I need to. Out, and come back. Out. 2. 3. You don't have to step very far. If coming back is too hard when you step that far, just step out a little bit and come back in. Let's do one more on that side. And good. Okay, the key is to be mindful of where your body is in space. So you want to keep everything aligned. And again, those toes shouldn't come too far forward. Your knees shouldn't come too far forward of your toes. That's a tongue twister. All right. Here's a kind of a strengthening balance one. You're going to do a hip knee flexion extension. So basically what happens is my arm starts up here, and I'm going to touch my elbow to my knee, and I'm going to flex them both together, and then I'm going to come back up. Now, there's a couple of ways to modify this. One, obviously, is holding on. The other, if you want to challenge yourself to balance, is when you touch and you come back down, don't actually come back to the very beginning. See if you can do 1 or 2 in a row. But the goal is to really try to get that core nice and solid as you're moving your arm and your leg together. So we'll start, we'll do 6 on one side and 6 on the other. Again, hold on if you need to hold on. So knee and elbow touch and then come back up. Now, if your knee doesn't come up very far, try not to touch your elbow down to your knee like this, because that's not a safe position. Just pretend that it's touching. But if you can touch them and then go back up, that's 4, one more. And 5. Let's try the other side. And come back down. It's a good balanced one if you can do it. If not, hold on. That's 2. Again, I keep my trunk up, so if I can't touch, that's okay. It's 3. 4. Last one. 5. So I have people that do this exercise in my classes, and sometimes as they're progressing in this exercise, they will try to touch and then not touch down and see if they can get 2 in a row or 3 in a row. So you might want to try that in the future. But again, have a chair there for safety reasons. All right, we're going to sit down now and do some core work, which is very important for our fitness. The more stable I am in my core, the more control I have in my arms and legs. So I really want that core to be strong. Plus it helps prevent injuries, keeps my back from getting injured. So cores are really important. So what we did last time, we're gonna do again. If you're new to us, your feet are gonna be on the floor, but your seat is a little bit forward on the chair. I want space between your shoulders or your back and the back of the chair. So I'm stable, I'm on the chair, but I've given myself some of this room. All right, what you're gonna do first is engage our core. And we do that by bringing your belly button into your spine. So pull that belly button into your spine. Just get used to that and relax. Try not to hold your breath. So bring it in and still consciously breathe in and out. That's what you want to get used to. All right, this time I want you to bring your core, your belly button into your spine. And now I want you to lean back a little bit. You'll feel that core really engaged. If you want to challenge yourself, you can lean back a little further. If not, just keep a solid core as you're sitting there. So I'm going to engage my core, I'm going to lean back, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate at my hips. So I'm going to hold my hands here, and keeping that core tight, I'm going to go 1, and then just kind of move my hands. I'm just kind of rotating my trunk. 3, we're going to do 5 and then rest. 4 and 5. Again, I don't know what level you're at, and I'm not quite sure how much you've exercised. So be conscious of not overdoing it, even if you feel good now, so that you're not putting yourself in a position of over fatigue later on. So if that's enough and you're feeling it in your core, I would stop there. If you want to do a few more, we'll do a few more. If you don't want to do the rotations, but you want to do a little bit more, then just hold that core in and just hold it tight and remember to breathe. We're going to do 5 more rotations, okay? Bring your belly button into your core, into your spine, lean back slightly, and go. 1, it's not for speed. 2, 3, again, if you're not rotating, just hold it, or just use this time to rest. Last 1, and 5. Good. I always feel the core. I love the core. And now we're going to work on those low back extensors, making sure our back is tight and solid. We're going to have our feet flat on the floor. Again, I'm solidly on the chair. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down with my hand or my elbow to the opposite leg. So if you don't have a lot of flexibility, or your low back is something that readily gets injured, or you haven't been exercising, I would just go to this position. If you have exercise and you feel like you have a strong core, you might go a little further. But basically what I'm going to do is I can put my hands like this. My elbow goes to that opposite knee, and then it comes up and fully moves diagonally. So I go opposite knee, and then I come back up to neutral. Right? We're going to do 10 of those. So nice sturdy seat, feet on the floor, probably a little wider than normal. My hands are just there to give me my elbows, and I'm just going to do 10, nice and slow and easy. Cross that arm to that knee and up, and cross down there and up. There's 2, and 3. If you can't go all the way, just rotate. 4. And 5, if you're feeling it on your low back, then don't bend forward, just go to the side. 6 and 7, 3 more. 8, 9, last 1. And good. All right, loosen up, everybody. Jiggles, sort us out. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. If you're feeling fatigued and you want to stop, then I would stop and just watch what we're doing and maybe do it another time. So I think you'll have access to these classes after the wellness week. If you can do a little bit more, that's great, but just do fewer repetitions. So really be mindful. So we're going to do pushing exercise. We did this in fitness for function 1. Again, if you think about your everyday activities that involve lifting and carrying, pushing and pulling. So we're going to do a pushing one called tricep push downs. I'm going to be using the chair, and what I'm going to do is push down so that my seat actually comes off the chair. If your seat doesn't come off the chair, because sometimes our arms aren't as long as we need them to be, it doesn't matter. As long as you're pushing down and you can feel those muscles contract in your arms, your seat might not actually come off the chair, and that's fine. Others can come up, and the more advanced is to actually go a little bit lower and then come up. But let's start with just coming off the seat to start with. We're going to try to do, we'll do 5, give our arms a rest, and do 5 more. These muscles are small and they don't get used a lot, so they do fatigue more quickly. So if you can only do 5, that's great. Feet shoulder width apart, my trunk is up, and push down, I pause, and come down. 1, 2, 3. And you don't have to go up very high, you don't have to hold it very long. And 5. All right, rest those arms out. All right, we're going to try to do 5 more. If you can't do 5 more, then just relax. Maybe while you're sitting there, you can do some stretches. 1, 2. Now, before you do this next one, bring in that core, bring that belly button to your spine. See if you can hold it while you're doing it. 3rd one, keep that core engaged. 4, and last one. 5. Awesome. All right, now we're ready to stand back up. If you're feeling like you can stand back up, that's great. If you want to sit and take some more rest, that's fine too. We did these in fitness function 1. We're going to do them again because they're a great addition to a functional program where you're trying to develop some speed of movement, which we need, especially when we're walking and we encounter something and we have to take a quick step. So you want either a chair that's nice and stable that will not tip over, or a wall. These are what we call the mountain climbers. So I'm starting with my feet shoulder width apart, but they're spread out, and one is ahead of the other. And holding on, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to switch places. Okay, I try to maintain the distance widthwise so that I'm not narrowing my base, and I'm trying to bring my forward foot back and my back foot forward. And I want to try to do that as quickly as possible. If that's tough, you can just do one leg and then the other. But what I would like you to try to do, or if you can't switch legs, is just jump a little bit in place. Anything to get that power. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do 8 of them. And they don't have to be any speed, so you can go at your own pace. But I'm going to switch. 1, 2. It doesn't have to be very high. Those steps don't have to be very long. You can just do a little bit right here. You can't switch, just a little bit of a hop. Again, holding on. 6, and 7, and 8. All right, we have 1 more of those to do before we start our cool down stretches. If you're done, you're done, that's fine. If you're done or those were difficult, you can go to heel raises and then toe raises. All right, so you can do your heel toe raises while we do our mountain climbers, that's fine. All right, we're going to do 8. Again, you're just trying to switch directions with your feet. They don't have to be very far apart. If you want more intensity, you can have them go wide, further apart, and you can go more quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep them wide apart. 6, 7, and 8. Great. Should get your heart rate up a little bit, and I think get you breathing a little bit faster. All right, those were some really good functional exercises. Hopefully you enjoyed them. We're going to do some stretches just to kind of cool down. This is where we can help our muscles and get more flexibility. We're going to do there's lots of stretches and you can stretch in all your muscles. We're just going to focus on the most critical ones that typically get tight or shortened. The first one is the front of our shoulders. Gravity kind of takes over and we get kind of hunched up. So we want to really stretch and strengthen the opposite muscles. So I'm going to stretch these muscles by grabbing my fingers or my wrists in the back and then just opening up. You can do this seated if you want. You can do this while you're watching TV, but we tend to be rounded. So we want to open that chest up and stretch the front of my shoulders. And when you're doing these stretches, unlike the warm-up we did, you hold them. So you're not just letting them go and then doing like that. We did the warm-up. This, you hold that stretch, you feel the tension just starting, shouldn't be painful. And then you just breathe gently and hold it for a count of 12 or 15. You want, you can put your chin down to your chest and get the top of the back as well. Nice gentle breathing. Okay, the next one is our straddle stretch. So you're just going to stretch by having your legs straddle. Hold on if you need to. And what I'm going to do is just lean over to this side and stretch that inner thigh. Nice and gentle. I shouldn't go past the point of feeling that initial tension. Shouldn't be painful. You can hold on. Stretching those tight inner thighs. All right, and let's switch to the other side, stretching again that inner thigh area, the muscles that get the most tight. This is the quietest class I've ever had. Okay, and then the last one is that hip flexor. Again, you can use your chair to get into my lunge position. My heel can come up in the back, and then I just push my hips forward till I feel that stretch in the front of my thigh and the front. Sometimes you might feel it right in the inner thigh or the groin area, but typically it should be right in front. So I want to make sure everything's lined up, just moving that hip a little bit forward. Nice and gentle. Okay, let's switch legs. Essentially, you could hold these a little longer, maybe do a few repetitions, but it should be at least 12 count or 15 count. And again, only feeling that tension, trying to relax as much as you can. Great. Well, again, thanks for joining my class, Functional Fitness, and hopefully I might see you in person when I do my live Better Balance class. I think it's the 3rd week in October, but I'm not sure. Again, stay safe and be mindful of where your body is and how much you do, and I hope you enjoyed the class. Take care. Be well.